Let's perform the indicated operation. It is addition, and we are adding fractions. So in order to add them, we must have the same denominator. We will use the least common denominator as our common denominator. What is the least common denominator for denominators of 6 and 14? One way to do this is take the larger denominator and keep checking to see if the smaller one, if there's 2, goes into the larger one, or if it will go into subsequent multiples of the larger one. You'll see what I mean. Does 6 divide into 14? No. So 14 is not the LCD. What is 14 times 2? That's 28. Now I know 14 goes into 28. Does 6 go into 28 evenly? Well, the answer is no. So let's do 14 times 3. 14 times 3 is 42. I know 14 then divides into 42 evenly. Does 6 divide into 42 evenly? The answer is yes. So my LCD here is 42. That's one way of finding the least common denominator. I want to now rewrite each fraction as an equivalent fraction but with a denominator of 42. So what do I multiply 6 by in order to have a product of 42? I multiply it by 7. In order for me to be multiplying by 1, then, I must multiply by 7 over 7. And I'll do that in just a moment. But let's go ahead and work on 3 over 14. And I ask myself the same question. 14 times what gives a product of 42? Well, 14 times 3 gives a product of 42. Whatever this number is in the denominator, you must put that same exact number in the numerator so that you are in essence multiplying by 1 and not changing the value here. So let's continue. Let's multiply. 1 times 7 is 7, over 6 times 7 is 42, plus 3 times 3 is 9, over 14 times 3 is 42, just like I want. Now I'm adding, the denominators are the same, so it's 7 plus 9, which is 16, over a common denominator of 42. That's my sum. Can this be simplified? Well, the answer is yes, because I know 16 and 42 have a common factor of 2, so I can write 16 as 2 times 8, and I can write 42 as 2 times 21, and then you see these common factors divide out, or in essence we're removing a factor of 1. So I have finally then 8 over 21 as my sum in simplest form.